I am tired of this hiatus, so I'm going to tell you guys a little story I thought in my head. Once upon a made-up time, I was riding my bicycle on the sidewalk. I went to stop to relax after a long ride. Then I noticed a jar of jelly beans next to a trash can. Assuming it could be out of date, I just ignored it. Then an office chair rolled down to me, making me feel disturbed. Then his face appeared and it said, "Hello," and I gasped out of shock. The chair told me, "Why are you so scared? Anyways, you see that jar of jelly beans? Now that you, armed fellow, have came to sit down, I need you to help me take this jar to a short pillar." I replied to him, "Why do you need me to put that jar in the pillar?" "I need to have access to something you humans have," he replied. "But I warn you, if you pick up that jar, you will have to go as fast as you can." "I do not trust you automatically," I tried to reply, but he pushed me on the ground and made me get the jar, and I was forced onto my bike. "Fine," I said, "but we're going out in public." Then the chair got annoyed and ran behind me, carrying me off to the place he was taking me, while he extended himself high. I was shouting, "Help! I'm being kidnapped!" However, by the time I said that, we were in a remote area. While he was taking me to the place, I asked him 2 questions. Question number 1 was, "How can you extend yourself so high?" And question number 2 was, "Since I have the jar in my hands, why did you tell me to go fast?" He replied, "First, my manufacturers have likely tried to think of something interesting for society. And second, I said that because of that." He turned me around and we saw the 40th President of the United States, Ronald Reagan, somehow still alive. I wasn't much surprised he was chasing us because the great communicator liked to eat jelly beans, at least according to videos I watched on YouTube. I prefer to read because it's much more objective. Anyways, he was chasing us, so the chair went faster and faster, and Reagan tried jumping on the pole, but he missed. Then we came across a wall, and I thought I would have to give the jelly beans I didn't want to Reagan. But then the chair shortened himself down, extended it up, and shortened again, jumping across the wall by definition. Then we heard Reagan run back in anger. Eventually, the chair took me to the pillar that he was talking about. I put the jar in the pillar, and the chair got arms. I think those arms are what he meant when he said, "something you humans have." I asked, "Now can you let me go home?" He looked at me, grabbed me from the leg, and threw me back home. I somehow survived the fall. One thing I wanted to know is why he needed the arms in the first place. The end.